Everyone is still talking about this, and we're waiting for the warrant to be unsealed. Of course, the question is, why hasn't Trump just released it? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Donald Trump is continuing to claim that he is being persecuted, and Donald Trump supporters are claiming that this is politically motivated and that this is unprecedented. This is a raid. This was an escalation, a politicization of the FBI, the likes of which this country has never seen. You have people calling for the end and the abolishment of the FBI. Interesting. You have people even who aren't on the right who seem to be like, well, yeah, the FBI has a lot of problems. The FBI has a history. It might be time to get rid of it. And maybe we should even take advantage of this time to get rid of the FBI. But let's talk about the warrant. Let's talk about what happened to Trump, because people are saying this shouldn't have happened. Why didn't they just wait? There's an interesting thing going on. I see people complaining, on one hand, that if they really needed these documents, if there was something really dangerous in the documents, why did they wait so long? Additionally, those same people are claiming that what was the rush for them to go and get these documents? At this point, I'm like, you can't have it both ways. You can't claim that, well, why did you wait a year and a half to go get these documents, and also claim, well, what was the rush? You can't be arguing both of these things simultaneously. Yet Trump supporters are arguing both of these things simultaneously, because this isn't about logic. This isn't about reason. This is part of the culture war. That's what it is. Now, what actually their response to it is part of the culture war. Now, I have a take on this, because I've seen even libertarians talk about, well, hey, we're not supporting classified documents. Nothing should be classified. And I don't think they actually mean that, but we'll put that one aside for now. Because the whole point is, the problem isn't just that these documents are classified and that they're trying to hide them. The problem is that they're in the wrong person's possession. If these are government official documents, whether they're classified or not, they shouldn't be in a private party's. A private party should not have sole custody of government documents. The public is allowed to have access to that. Copies, cool. But he should not be the sole custodian of government documents. Because now, what if the public wants to see these documents? What if, for whatever reason, there's stuff in there that isn't classified that we want to see? Or in line with the argument that people are saying nothing should be classified, well then, once again, why is that stuff in his possession? It should be in the government's possession, so that when the public wants access to these documents, wants to examine what's in these documents, wants to see what's in these documents, we can make the request and do so. Put in an FOIA request, go to the National Archives, view whatever we can online. These are ways that we could do this. This stuff should not be in his possession, because if it's in his possession, it's not in the government's possession. It's not in the location where the public can go get access to it. And that's my main concern. That's my main concern, because as somebody who's filed FOI requests, and I even talked about in the video where I had to file for papers to pursue a court case. No, like, this stuff should be in a clearly established location, so that we're not having the problem of, oh, well, we can't find these documents. And they definitely shouldn't be in private possession of a former president who, on his own whims, because as we've seen, Donald Trump is not a transparent person. Donald Trump, if things make him look bad or if things are shady, he's not trying to let us know. He's not trying to reveal it. Donald Trump cannot be trusted to be the custodian of these documents, nor can he be trusted to be the decision maker as to whether or not we have access to them. That's one of the problems. The story is that some of the documents in his possession were above top secret and related to nuclear weapons. So there was, Elise Stefanik was on Fox News this morning, and Ducey was like, well, if it's related to nuclear weapons, whether it's ours or some other foreign nation or some other nation, it's kind of a big deal. And then she says, oh, well, we need to, stick to the facts and we can't just speculate. What you're doing is speculating. Everyone in Trump's camp, everyone who's supporting Trump right now is speculating because they're saying, oh, why was this raid necessary? It wasn't a raid. It was an executed search warrant. You know what was a raid? Breonna Taylor. That was a raid. And by the way, while we're talking about getting rid of the FBI, let's not forget that the FBI is the reason why the cops that murdered Breonna Taylor are actually facing justice. The FBI is the one that investigated it and are pursuing charges against those individuals. So when people are talking about abolishing the FBI, I'm like, whoa. Seems like it's kind of convenient timing, especially coming from the blue right. But when the whole point is, if people are just making the story up about what happened and what's going on, it's like, no, calm down, wait for the facts. Because people have already just invented, they were planting evidence, and it comes to find out that the surveillance in the house was actually on. They were watching, and Trump's lawyer says this on TV, that Trump and his people were watching the search from New York through CCTV. So you tell me. Also, Trump's lawyers stated that she received a copy of the warrant before they left. After they were finished, they gave her a copy of the warrant and the inventory. So if Trump actually wanted this information out, Trump could have released the copy of the warrant, but he didn't. He sat there after Garland said, I'm going to release it. I'm moving for it to be unsealed. Then Trump says, oh, yeah, release it. No, you don't have to tell him to release it. You could have released it. See, I'm not playing the games. I don't like Trump anyway. Cool. I don't like the FBI. Cool. But I'm not going to go to bat for Trump against the FBI. Because, quite frankly, if you look at the plans Trump has for law enforcement in this country, Trump has another motive for hating the FBI. And it's not because they're violating people's rights. It's because they're investigating local cops and local police that are violating people's rights. That's what they're after. That's what the right is trying to stop. And that's the narrative. And that's why they're pushing so hard with the narrative that the FBI can't be trusted. So if you're calling for the abolishment of the FBI, don't just stop at the FBI. We have to abolish all law enforcement. We have to. Because the FBI didn't do the things it's done throughout history by itself. FBI killing the Black Panthers, it did it with the help of local police departments. So we got to abolish them too. Killing Malcolm, they did it with the help of the NYPD. We cannot get rid of the FBI and leave the local law enforcement police departments intact. If we're going to abolish them, we got to abolish them more. As always, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. But if you disagree, if you think, no, the FBI is a threat to freedom, tell me in the comment section, after you give me the thumbs down, who's going to investigate dirty cops without the FBI around? Especially if Trump is the president. And if you want to check out another video that's along this line, you can check on this video right here. I'll see you next time.